Architecture is the art of how to waste space. Architecture is basically the design of interiors, the art of organizing interior space. All architects want to live beyond their deaths. I wouldn't build a building if it wasn't of interest to me as a potential work of art. Why should I? All architecture is shelter. All great architecture is the design of space that contains, cuddles, exalts, or stimulates the persons in that space. I call myself a traditionalist, although I have fought against tradition all my life. Doing a house is so much harder than doing a skyscraper. The first complete sentence out of my mouth was probably that line about consistency being the hobgoblin of small minds. Architecture is art, nothing else. There's no such thing as old age. I'm no different now than I was 50 years ago. I'm just having more fun. I'm about 4 skyscrapers behind. You're going to change the world? Well, go ahead and try. You'll give it up at a certain point and change yourself instead. I hate vacations. If you can build buildings, why sit on the beach? The future of architecture is culture. I guess I can't be a great architect. Great architects have a recognizable style. But if every building I did were the same, it would be pretty boring. I got everything from someone. Nobody can be original. You cannot not know history. I like the thought that what we are to do on this earth is embellish it for its greater beauty, so that oncoming generations can look back to the shapes we leave here and get the same thrill that I get in looking back at theirs at the Parthenon, at Chartres Cathedral. Dullness is the enemy. Anybody can build a building, putting some doors into it, but how many times have you been in a building that moves you to tears the way Beethoven's Eighth does? I get between 9 and 10 hours of sleep. Go to bed at 8:30 and get up at 6 o'clock or 6:30 if I oversleep. If architects weren't arrogant, they wouldn't be architects. I don't know a modest good architect. I wish someone would ask me to design a cathedral. To me, the drive for monumentality is as inbred as the desire for food and sex, regardless of how we denigrate it. Monuments differ in different periods. Each age has its own. I haven't any wisdom, just a child like everybody else. I'm not as great as Frank Lloyd Wright. Don't build a glass house if you're worried about saving money on heating. It is wonderful to be in the country in a glass house, because no matter what happens out there, you're nice and safe, you know, cuddled in your little bed, and there it is, raging storms, snowing wonderful. Purpose is not necessary to make a building beautiful. There's only one reason for my whole life, and that's art. Nothing else counts. Nothing else gives me pleasure. Nothing else gives me satisfaction. I'm a chameleon, so changeable. I see myself as a gadfly and a questioner. I like to be buttoned onto tradition. The thing is to improve it, twist it and mold it, to make something new of it, not to deny it. The riches of history can be plucked at any point. Glibness will get you anywhere. Maybe, just maybe, we shall at last come to care for the most important, most challenging, surely the most satisfying of all architectural creations, building cities for people to live in. I guess I want to make money just like other people, perhaps more than most people. I used to think that each phase of life was the end. But now that my view on life is more or less fixed, I believe that change is a great thing. In fact, it's the only real absolute in the world. There's no worse feeling than seeing my buildings and realizing the mistakes. Faith? Haven't any. I'm not a nihilist or a relativist. I don't believe in anything but change. I'm a Heraclitean. You can't step in the same river twice. The people with money to build today are corporations. They are our popes and Medicis. The sense of pride is why they build. Houston is undoubtedly my showcase city. I saved all my best buildings for Houston. I always think of buildings and their settings, but so do other architects. Thanks for watching. Waiting for the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe.